Stop moving your stop loss right now. Because every time you drag it a little further away, you are handing money to the market. And the worst part is that you think you are protecting yourself. You are not protecting yourself. You are digging your own grave. I know exactly what you are thinking. You place your stop loss, the price goes straight toward it, touches it by a hair, knocks you out of the trade, and then, as if the market were laughing at you, it turns around and goes exactly in the direction you had predicted. You sit there staring at the screen wondering how this is possible. How is it possible that you were right and still lost money? If this has happened to you once, it has happened 100 times, and it is not bad luck. It is not that the market is personally out to get you. It is that you are placing your stop loss exactly where 90% of traders place it, and that is the problem. Where the crowd is, that is where the easy money is for whoever knows how to hunt it. After this video, you are going to understand why your stop loss is costing you your account, and you are going to learn how to place it where almost no one puts it, in a place where the market has to truly work to take you out. Pay attention, because this could be the difference between an account that grows and an account that slowly bleeds out. The truth no one told you about the stop loss. Let us start by breaking a belief. Most traders think the stop loss is a protection tool, something you place to limit your loss. And technically, yes, that is what it does. But that way of thinking is exactly what has you trapped. Let me put it another way. Imagine you are at war. Your stop loss is not your shield. Your stop loss is the position where you decide that your plan was wrong and you retreat to fight another day. It is not protection, it is information. It is the exact point where the market tells you, what you thought was going to happen is not going to happen. And here comes the important part. If you place that point based on how much money you are willing to lose, instead of basing it on what actually invalidates your idea, you are doing everything backward. You are letting your fear decide for you, not the structure of the market. Most traders place the stop loss like this. They open the trade, look at how much they can lose, and set the stop at a distance that feels emotionally comfortable. 20 pips, 30 pips, a round number that feels safe. That is a massive mistake, because the market does not care about your comfort. The market does not care about the round numbers you pick to feel calm. Why the market goes straight for your stop. Now I am going to explain the mechanics, and when you understand this, you will never see the market the same way again. The market moves looking for liquidity. Liquidity means, in simple words, orders, money waiting to be executed. And where do you think the largest amount of orders piles up? Exactly, right where everyone places their stop loss. Think about this. If you look at a chart, there are obvious zones. A clear support, a clear resistance, a recent low, a recent high. Those zones are obvious to you, and they are also obvious to the other millions of traders looking at the same chart. So what does the crowd do? They place their stop loss just below that support or just above that resistance, everyone in the same spot. That creates a pool of liquidity, a huge concentration of orders in a very small zone. And smart money, the large participants who move volumes you and I cannot even imagine, need that liquidity to execute their positions. They cannot simply buy 10,000 contracts without the price exploding. They need sellers on the other side. And where are those sellers? In the stop losses of traders who are long. So the price moves toward that zone. It touches it. It triggers all those stop losses. That triggering creates an avalanche of orders that smart money absorbs. And once it has taken all that liquidity, the price turns around and goes in the original direction, the direction you had predicted. But you are already out. They took you out right before the move. This has a name. It is called a stop hunt, or a liquidity sweep. And it is not a conspiracy theory. It is simply how the market works at a mechanical level. The market goes to find the money where the money is easiest to take, and the easiest money to take is in the predictable stop losses, the mistake of round numbers and fixed distances. Let me dig deeper into one of the most common mistakes, because I know many of you are making it right now, saying, I am going to risk 20 pips on every trade. It sounds disciplined, it sounds professional, but it is a mistake, because you are imposing an arbitrary number on the market. The market does not move in blocks of 20 pips to accommodate you. Sometimes the structure that invalidates your idea is 12 pips away. Sometimes it is 45 pips away. The market defines where your stop should go, not you. When you use a fixed distance, one of two things happens. Either your stop is too tight and it takes you out before your idea has a chance to work, or your stop is too wide and you risk more than necessary in zones that mean nothing. And then there are the round numbers, the 1.0800, the 1.0900, those psychological levels where everyone places their orders. If your stop loss is exactly at an obvious round number, get ready, because that is the first place the market is going to go looking for liquidity, where to really place your stop loss. All right, you now understand the problem. Now comes the solution. And this is what I want you to write down, to memorize, to apply on your next trade. Rule number 1 is simple. Your stop loss must go where your trading idea stops being valid. Not 1 pip before, not 1 pip after. If you enter a trade because you believe the price is going to rise from a demand zone, your idea is valid as long as that demand zone holds. The moment the price clearly breaks that zone, your idea is dead. There, and only there, goes your stop loss. But there is a key detail. Do not place it right at the edge of the zone, because that edge is where everyone places it. Give it space, give it a cushion. If the demand zone is at 100, do not put your stop at 99.9. Put it a little further, where the market would have to truly break the structure to reach. You are placing your stop behind the liquidity, not inside it. Think of a water dam. The crowd of traders places their stop right at the wall of the dam, in the most obvious part. You want to place yours behind the mountain that holds the dam, so that for the water to reach your stop, it has to break the entire structure first. And if it breaks the entire structure, then yes, your idea was truly wrong and you deserve to be out. Rule number 2. Place your stop beyond the liquidity, not before it. If you see an obvious recent low where you know the crowd is, do not place your stop above that low. Place it below. Let the market go, sweep that liquidity, trigger everyone else's stops, and then the price reverses and you are still in. While the others are crying because they got taken out, you are comfortably positioned for the real move. Rule number 3. The size of your stop defines the size of your position, never the other way around. This is the part that changes everything. Most people do the opposite. They decide how many lots they want to trade, and then adjust the stop so the loss seems acceptable. That is working backward, and it is the recipe for ruin. The correct way is this. First, you define where your stop goes, based on the structure. That distance is fixed. The market decides it. Then you calculate how many lots you can trade, so that, if your stop triggers, you only lose the percentage of your account that you have decided to risk. Whether it is 1%, whether it is 0.5%, that is for you to decide. But the stop comes first, and the position size adjusts to it. The step-by-step method. Let us put it all together in a process you can follow on every trade. Pay attention, because this is the actionable part. Step 1. Before entering, identify the structure that supports your idea. The supply or demand zone, the support or resistance level, the point that, if broken, proves you were wrong. Step 2. Identify where the obvious liquidity is, the clear lows and highs, the round numbers, the places where you know the crowd places their stops. Mark those zones mentally. Those are the places the market is going to want to attack. Step 3. Place your stop loss beyond that liquidity, at the point where your idea is truly invalidated. Not at the obvious edge, but behind the structure with a reasonable cushion. Step 4. Measure the distance from your entry to your stop. That distance is your risk and price. Step 5. Calculate the size of your position so that distance represents only the percentage of your account you are willing to lose. If you risk 1% of an account of 1,000, that is 10 units of your currency. Adjust the lots so that the distance of your stop equals that loss and no more. Step 6, and this is the hardest one. Once you place your stop, do not touch it. Do not move it further because the price gets close. If you move it, You are destroying all the work you just did. You are letting fear make decisions for you. The stop is where it is for a reason. Respect it, the psychological mistake that ruins everything. And here we arrive at the part that separates those who win from those who lose. Because you can know all the technique in the world, but if your mind is not in order, you are going to sabotage every trade. The biggest psychological mistake with the stop loss is moving it. Moving the stop to push it further away when the price gets close. You do it because you do not want to accept that you were wrong. Your ego cannot stand the idea of taking a small loss, so you prefer to risk a huge loss just to be right. And that is exactly how small accounts turn into zero. You have to understand something. A loss is not a failure. A loss is the cost of doing business. It is the price of entry to the game. The professional trader is not afraid of losses. He knows he is going to lose many times, and he is completely at peace with that, because his losses are small and controlled, and his gains, when they come, are much bigger. The crowd does the opposite. They take small gains because they are afraid the price will get away from them, and they let losses run because they do not want to accept they were wrong. Small gains and big losses. That math only leads to one place: bankruptcy. When you place your stop loss correctly and respect it, you are telling the market, I have a plan. I know where I was wrong, and I accept that risk in advance. That is the mindset of a trader who survives in the long run. What happens when you start doing it right? Let me paint the picture of what changes when you start placing your stop loss where it should go. First, you are going to notice that you get taken out of trades much less, because you are no longer placing your stop in the obvious zone where the market hunts liquidity. You are behind the structure, in a safe place. The market can do its sweeps, it can scare the crowd, but it does not touch you. Second, your losses become consistent and controlled. You know exactly how much you are going to lose before entering. There are no surprises. There are no panic moments where you watch your account collapse because you let a loss run. Third, and this is huge, your mind calms down. When you know your stop is well placed and you respect your plan, you stop staring at the screen with anxiety. You can walk away. You can let the trade develop because you already made the only important decision, which was where to accept that you were wrong. And fourth, over time, your equity curve starts to rise. Not because you win every trade, but because your losses are small and your winners are not wasted in liquidity sweeps. That is the real edge. Remember this. Let us close with the essentials so you do not forget anything. Your stop loss is not emotional protection. It is the point where your idea dies. Place it where the structure breaks, not where you feel comfortable. The market hunts the liquidity of the crowd. Do not be part of the crowd. Place your stop behind the liquidity, not inside it. The stop defines the size of your position, never the other way around. First the stop, then the lots, and above all, once placed, do not move it. Respect your plan. Accept the small loss today to stay in the game tomorrow. If you apply this on your next trade, I guarantee you are going to see the market in a completely new way. You are going to stop feeling that the market is against you, and you are going to start using the same logic that those who really win use. If this video helped you understand why your stops get triggered at the worst possible moment, leave me a comment telling me how many times that has happened to you, where you get taken out and then the price goes in your favor. I want to read your story. Subscribe so you do not miss the next video, where I am going to teach you the 3 exact zones where smart money enters the market. See you in the next one. Take care of your capital, respect your plan, and keep trading with your head.